I just made this AI clone video of myself, and the best part is I didn't even have to edit it or really even prompt it. I connected Higgsfield's MCP feature to Claude and basically let it do all of the work for me. And what's even better than letting AI create the video for me, I can use this feature to basically scale it to as much volume and original pieces of content as I want to. So in this video, I'll show you the entire process of how I use Higgsfield to connect it to Claude and then create these pieces of content. Alright, now that we are here in Higgsfield, I'll head over to this MCP tab and just copy this link. I've already selected Claude, so I'll just open it. And here I'll type in Higgsfield and paste in the link that we just copied. And that's it. We have connected Higgsfield. I'll just approve this permission right here. And we're good to go. Now I'm here in Claude Code, and what I'll do is just ask a simple prompt. I want to create a UGC video of a character speaking about a topic using Higgsfield. Right now it's going to load the Higgsfield instructions for UGC videos. Here it's asking me what the topic should be, so I'll just say I'll type it myself. Now it's asking me who the character will be, and since I'll be cloning myself in the first use case, I'll just select use my own photo, and the video should be 30 seconds. And now I'll prompt in the topic that I want my AI character to be talking about. The video topic should be about how Higgsfield MCP lets you create and test a large amount of content. I also want to put my character in a podcast room. So could you generate 4 starting frames using Nano Banana Pro? Alright, to get the image for the character, I'll just use this screenshot and upload it in this box right here. And I'll say, generate the 4 starting frames now. Okay, so out of the 4 generations that it did, for some reason it made the first 3 of me in the middle of some sort of an expression. And I don't think that's the best way to go about it and use as a starting frame. The only decent result was this one at the end. So use the 4th generation. So what's great about this Higgsfield connection is that it has a lot of these skills built in. So it knows the best way to go about prompting either the image models or the video models and so on. And you don't have to think about these little things. You just let the skill handle it for you. So what is happening right now is the 2 different video generations, both at 12 seconds long, are being generated. Claude automatically came up with a script for it. I didn't even review it and just let it do its job. So this is just basically me letting Claude take over the whole thing and seeing what the result will be like. After this, I will test it with more of my own input and my own feedback on everything before it gets shipped by Higgsfield. Alright, so the first clip has been generated and let's see how it looks.
Most people still make one video and just hope it works. I described one scene to Claude, and Higgsfield's MCP generated 4 versions of it at the same time. Same effort it used to take me to make one. Now I get to test all 4.
Okay, overall this is decent. Some things that I notice is, for example, the mispronunciation of Higgsfield. And also when the character says 4 variations, he shows 5 fingers, which is incorrect, of course. Let's see how the 2nd generation comes up. Pretty sure we're going to have to do a lot of work with, for example, covering the parts which are incorrect with B-roll or applying some more edits. So I don't think this is the best approach on getting the best result out of this entire workflow between Claude and Higgsfield. The next video which I'll generate after this, I'll make sure to put more of my own input and see if we can get a better result out of it that way. Alright, so Higgsfield actually failed the 2nd generation of the videos. So I just asked it to rerun it again and stitch the 2 videos together. It kept the original 12-second video, but it only rendered a 5-second hook. And since I asked it to stitch the videos together, they turned out to be 17 seconds long, and we have the MP4 file right here. So let's check it out.
I just replaced my whole content workflow with one chat window. Most people still make one video and just hope it works.
Okay, so I guess this script is fine based on the vague prompt that I gave it, but the problem is that the scenes switch, and these are 2 completely different locations and setups. So this can't really be used as a single video. I guess the main problem for this is because the 1st generation failed, so we had to rerun it, and it decided to use a different starting frame. But it is not the best approach to just leave it in Claude's hands to figure everything out and put it together. I think we need more input from me. And after we have the first product finished, then we can use this to scale it. So replicate it in multiple different angles and ways. So here in this same exact Claude code chat, I will upload my image once again. I will ask Claude to make a clean podcast style frame using the character in the image. Place the camera at a 45-degree angle so it looks organic and like a real podcast would. Make the lighting in the image bright and soft. Clean, well-lit podcast studio. Generate 4 different options at 2K quality with Nano Banana Pro. Okay, so we have some new options here for the starting frames. And out of these 4, I would say this one probably looks the most organic when it comes to a real podcast screenshot. So now I'll say, use the second generation for the starting frame. I want you to provide me 3 different script variants that I can pick from. All right, so it kind of departed from the original topic, especially in the second script. So I think the best option is the variant number 3. Use the variant number 3. Make sure it looks like an organic podcast recording of the character talking to the other person and only looking into the camera when it's necessary. And let's run this prompt now. Actually, I'll pause it real quick. And I also want to mention that it should be using CDance 2.0 in 720p quality, since that will be enough for the UGC videos which I'm creating. And it will also help me budget the credits, since by default it's always going to be using the 1080p option, and for the Nano Banana generations it's going to be automatically using the 4K resolution. So if you want to make sure that you don't splurge all your credits in a single day, then make sure to specify this. And let's run it. Here we have the result. It is 14 seconds long, and let's check it out.
I haven't opened an editing timeline in about a week. I describe the shot in a chat window and it comes back finished. Right character, right room every time.
So I think it did a pretty good job. There was no inconsistencies. All the movements, the speech, everything sounded and looked pretty good. We have the video ready. I want to see if Higgsfield is able to generate B-roll for it and also add captions. So can you generate relevant B-roll on top of the current video? You can send in the B-roll frames so I can approve them, and also add captions on top of the video. All right, these are the B-roll options that it generated. To be honest, I don't like any of them, and if I really wanted to create B-roll, I would probably spend more attention to it, prompting the starting frames separately and then animating them if I need to. But I feel like this video is short enough to where we can simply just leave the main A-roll playing. I won't be needing the B-roll on the video anymore. I just want you to generate the captions for it. All right, let's see the captioned video.
I haven't opened an editing timeline in about a week. I describe the shot in a chat window and it comes back finished. Right character, right room every time.
All right, so they are accurate. However, by all standards, they're way too low on the video. They should be placed right below the chin, so no overlays from social media cover them, or any descriptions or any UI cannot be seen in front of it. I'm pretty sure it got all of the accuracy correct, so that is good, but they look super simple, and for how long I had to wait for them, I might as well just have done the same process in Premiere Pro. So I want to see if it's able to come up with better looking, maybe animated captions and place them correctly as well. Can you make the captions animated so they look more premium, and place them right below my chin in the video? All right, now we have the redone, animated, and repositioned caption version ready. Let's see it.
I haven't opened an editing timeline in about a week. I describe the shot in a chat window and it comes back finished. Right character, right room every time.
Okay, so it looks much more solid than the last version, and since it was a simple prompt about just making it animated and I didn't specify the way I want it to be animated, or I didn't specify the font, I am sure that with a lot more guidance and more feedback, I could get a really good version of these captions. I could, for example, ask it to animate each word to pop up separately, change the font to something that looks more premium, and so on. Okay, now one more additional thing that I did is ask it to rework the animation, like I said, word by word, and also add in some zooms that, for example, an editor would add when editing the video. So I want to see how AI was able to handle this task, and let's see it.
I haven't opened an editing timeline in about a week. I describe the shot in a chat window and it comes back finished. Right character, right room every time.
Okay, so these are not animated zooms. They're just simply cuts which either zoom in or zoom out. And that's not really what I wanted to get. Also, since I asked it to separate the words and the captions, for some reason it made the distance between the words way too large and it just doesn't look right. So it will take me another prompt to fix this and ask it to either animate the zooms or just don't add them completely. But ignoring the small additional problems which arose from me wanting to add the captions and the zooms, the great thing about connecting Claude to Higgsfield is you can run these videos at scale. So I have one prototype made right now and I can just simply ask it to rerun the whole process as many times as I want. So what I'll do is I'll say, in the video, the distance between the captions, each separate word, is way too large. So make sure to put the captions neatly together. Only add the zooms if you're able to animate them instead of just adding simple cut zooms. And once that is finished, I want you to create 2 more variations of this entire process, of this entire video. I want you to come up with a different script, a new video generation, add some creative twist to each new version, and deliver me the 3 completed videos, including this one here in this chat. Okay, so Claude just finished the entire process and delivered the 3 final videos. Now, this process took about 15 minutes, which makes sense because it has to generate the video, add the captions, and do all the other things necessary to get these videos done. Now, let's review all 3 variants, and I'll give my honest feedback on each one of them.
I haven't opened an editing timeline in about a week. I describe the shot in a chat window and it comes back finished. Right character, right room every time. The bottleneck was never the ideas. It was everything after them.
This was the original one. It did keep in mind everything that I said, so the captions are now fixed. They look much better than before. There's no weird distance between the words and so on. Also, the zooms are fixed. I mean, they're kind of unnoticeable, and if I was the one editing them, I would for sure make them a bit differently. But considering this is AI and I only asked it to redo it once, I think the result is pretty good. Now let's check out variant number 2.
My first 4 came back terrible. Nothing like me. So I said that, in plain English, 3 minutes later, I had 4 that worked. It's not that it's perfect. It's that fixing it costs nothing.
Okay, so I think it grabbed the script, which was a little bit off topic, like I said, but all I can say is it executed the clip perfectly. Of course, I would have used a different script because right now, out of context, this makes absolutely no sense. Nobody would ever know what he's talking about. But in terms of actually creating the video, putting it together, making the captions, everything looks great. So in this one, it's only a matter of the script being off from what I wanted. Now let's check out the last variant.
Everyone's still making one video and hoping it lands. I describe a scene once and get 4 different versions back at the same time. 4 shots at the audience instead of 1. That's not strategy, that's maths.
Okay, execution-wise, it's the same as all the previous ones. It did it perfectly. A small thing which we noticed previously also was the fingers not matching up with what he's saying. So I think he said it only once, but he's showing 3 fingers. And one more thing which is different from all these 3 variants is the voice. So here there's a more of a British accent. The previous ones had a slightly different voice and tone. So I'll come back to the voice in a second, but apart from the little things like the wrong number of fingers being shown or other little things, I think these videos are actually pretty good considering I didn't have to put that much input. If you're curious about how many credits this took to create, I did the videos at 720p quality using Cdance 2.0 and the total cost for 2 new variants was 890 credits. So the 3 videos in total took probably about 285 credits. Now returning back to the voices, here I asked if I am able to change the voice through this chat or should I use a separate platform like 11 Labs. And it gave me this option right here where I can record an audio and it is going to clone my voice and change the voice on the videos. So let's see how it works and if it's actually accurate. So I'll record an audio of my voice now. Hello, this is my voice. All right, so I recorded roughly a minute of me just talking. I will name this Darren's and click create voice. The voice has been created, so I'll click done. And now I'll say recreate the 3 videos and just change the voice to my own. Okay, so this was actually pretty quick. It took roughly 30 seconds at best. I haven't opened an editing timeline in about a week. I describe the shot in a chat window and it comes back finished. Right character, right room every time. Okay, I can hear the changes it did, but still it kept the accents of the separate generations there. It doesn't sound like me 100%. So yeah, I mean, you can use this. It's probably good enough to be used, but you know, if you want to keep more consistency, if you're actually going to be posting these videos or running them as ads or whatever, you're gonna want to have the voice be real and true to your actual voice. So I would probably use 11 Labs for this task. Okay, I just asked it to rerun it with a different model now, and the results are a bit better, but still, I've had the best experience with cloning them using 11 Labs, so I would just probably stick to it, but here you can hear it.
Haven't opened an editing timeline in about a week.
Everything in a chat window and it comes back. All right, that's it for the use case of cloning myself using Claude and Higgsfield. All right, so overall this feature is pretty dope. I'm definitely going to be using it in my client's work. I can already see a use case where, let's say I'm creating an ad creative for a client's meta ads. I can just simply use this feature to generate, say, 5 different hooks without having to prompt them separately, without having to render them separately or generate them. I can just simply paste all the scripts or everything that I have prepared, and Claude will simply provide me the final versions, and it can even stitch them together with the main body of the video as well. I'm also excited to see what other use cases I can come up with. I may also be testing it out on organic AI UGC content, seeing how well it can produce it at scale and keep up the quality. Overall, I'm really happy with this product. Even the few things that it may still need work on, they don't diminish how good this feature is. I may post another video in the future where I show off how I implemented this into my workflow, how I use it to deliver my clients' work, or you know, whatever else that I can come up with. I'm glad to say this video was sponsored by Higgsfield, so you can go check them out in the description. I'll also leave a link to Higgsfield in the comments. Feel free to check it out. Everything you saw me deliver today, you can also do this and a bunch of other things through the link, so feel free to check it out. I hope this video was insightful for you. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.